series of flow tests in the vicinity of the hotel, or proposed location of the hotel, and found out that basically that we could develop a maximum of 1,500 GPM at 20 psi. And the reason I say 20 psi is that's what DEP requires the minimum pressure to be in order to preserve the integrity of the water supply, so we don't contaminate it in any way. So we really can't drop it below that point. And that being the case, I looked at what would be the demand for this new hotel. What would be the fire demand? Now, this building will be fully sprinkled, and it will be constructed of what we would call fire-resistive and non-combustible type of elements versus what's there right now. And based upon that, and when the new technology that will go into this building for sprinklers alone, the total demand is probably around 300 GPM. And should the sprinklers fail for any reason or be out of service, the total demand is somewhere around 1,000 GPM. So it's well within the confines of the existing water supply as it exists right now, because it can develop 1,500 GPM. I was also asked to look at the existing structures that are there. Right now there's one larger building. It's a wood frame structure. The fire protection of that building is out of service and doesn't work. Utilizing the analysis techniques that we use in the Commonwealth here, which is both from NFPA, National Fire Protection Association. I worked for them for a number of years also. And also from Insurance Services Office, ISO, they look at it from the standpoint of master planning. I looked at what would happen with that building. They both came out with numbers that were essentially the same, that it would require somewhere around 6,700 gallons of water per minute to control a fire in that building being unsprinkled as it is right now. Unfortunately, right now, you only had 1,500 GPM available. So if something were to happen in that structure right now, especially say in the winter when we have a northeast type wind coming in, it would not only take that building out, maybe threaten the neighborhood. So obviously, this is I hate to say it's a potential problem for a conflagration with that building and as it sits right now. Now, the new building itself, being fire resistive, is not going to present that type of exposure to the neighborhood. And the existing water supply has capability of healing that. Mr. Bornstein, I guess, has agreed with the water department to improve the water in the area because there was a concern by the water department that possibly there may be a situation where the neighborhood areas on Spring Street and Ridgewood behind that, the pressure at those homes may be somewhat compromised during a situation or extra water demand. So he decided that he would go and fund $360,000 to bring the existing 8-inch main, which comes from Mary Dunn Road, up to a 12-inch blind main down to the hotel. That will increase the water supply exponentially. So I would assume that instead of having 1,500 GPM, we'll probably have somewhere in the vicinity of 2,500 to 3,000 GPM available down there. So in essence, in conclusion, all I can say is that the water supply right now is adequate, and with the changes that Mr. Bornstein wants to make, the water supply will be more than adequate. Thank you.
Thank you. Mr. Kenny, and given the hour, I'm going to suggest that we continue. What?
We just need to extend it an hour past 11.
We are almost done with our presentation. There's a lot of people that have come and waited a long time.
Well,
No, in other words, the hour is extended to allow you to continue.
Well, that's what you're saying, and they seem to be
hold
saying...
Hold on. What I'm suggesting is if we allow all the members of the public to speak, we may be here till tomorrow morning. And I want to give everybody an opportunity to speak. I want you to make your presentation. I want you to have people, that you brought down here to wait and not get an opportunity. I'd like that to get done, but I got to tell you, I don't think we're going to get through this whole hearing tonight. That's my...
Can we extend to 11:30?
Well...
We have to extend past 11. We have to. Doesn't matter when.
Well...
Yeah, we have to extend.
Go ahead.
That's the main thing. We need to extend.
Do we have a
meeting.
motion to extend the meeting?
I move that we. I move that we extend the meeting past 11 until.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to extend. All
To a reasonable
so I
hour.
wanted to
to
finish.
allow. How many more people do you have, Mr. Kenny?
Mr. President, just
Yes.
if all these other people that are going to comment have to come back, why shouldn't the presenters have to come back too? It's 11 o'clock. I can hardly listen anymore. All right? I'm not going to be able to appreciate
Right.
what other
This
people are
council's
saying.
been here since 6:30.
So have many of the people that have come here.
Well, a lot of people have come here too, and they're not going to be able to be here till midnight or 1 o'clock. I can't be here till then.
I'm actually more concerned about the public than the presenters. We only have one presenter left, and that's Mr. Bornstein, who will clearly be back here. I'm concerned about the public having an opportunity to be heard. Some of them have come a great distance to be heard, and they've been waiting several hours to be heard, and my fear is they won't have an opportunity to come back.
Point of information?
Yes, sir.
Maybe we should discuss skipping by Mr. Bornstein. I'm sure he'll be with us next time, and let's see how we do getting through the crowd.
Be happy to do that.
That's fine
If,
with
if
us.
someone has to leave, they have to leave. Let's be honest, you know?
We still have a motion and a second to extend the meeting. Councilor Rugo.
Yeah, I would just like to add to the comments by Councilor from Precinct 10. It's late, and to comprehend this is difficult. We had an executive session that convened at 6:30 this evening. We can't control the business of this council as the evening progresses. However, it's to ask more than I think that's reasonable to expect the public at home to stay up at this hour, to expect the public in the neighborhoods to stay here at this hour and longer. 11:30 becomes 11:45, becomes midnight. It's not the way to do business. We must.
Councilor Rugo, I thank you. We have a motion to extend, and we have a second. We're going to have that vote. So, all in favor of extending the meeting beyond 11 o'clock? All opposed? Five yes and 6 no does not carry. The matter will be not extended. I would suggest that it be continued to October the 15th. All in favor of continuing this matter to October the 15th? Any opposed? That's unanimous, Madam Clerk.
I'm not fighting this. I'm not one way or another.
Yes, sir.
Motion to adjourn.
We have a motion to adjourn. Do we have a second? That's a second. All in favor of adjourning? Any opposed? Unanimous, Madam Clerk.
Thank you all for your attention tonight. We'll see you on the 15th.